friends, welcome to our yoga class for the new moon in Aquarius coming up on January 29th. My name is Natasha, also known as Nurse Natasha. If you're new here, welcome. If you're old here, welcome back. This is an all levels friendly yoga class for the new moon in Aquarius, like I said, that is coming up on January 29th. We are going to work through it. I'm going to talk a little bit about kind of what's going on astrologically with this new moon, but if you want more information on that, I do have a full free video on the astrology and a tarot reading for this new moon in Aquarius, and kind of just like this big energy shift that has been happening that is also free here on my YouTube channel. If you like witchcraft, wellness, tarot, astrology, yoga, and everything in between, a little bit of spooky stuff, hit that subscribe button. I put out full free new moon and full moon tarot readings and yoga classes here. I also teach live yoga, do live tarot and live astrology and live new moon and full moon workshops here at my YouTube membership. But yeah, I also have courses. I teach and host witchcraft and wellness retreats here in Salem, Massachusetts. I kind of do it all. All the links will be in the description box below, but let's get into this yoga. Again, this is an all levels friendly, plus size friendly, accessible trauma informed yoga class. I will be cueing some things with blocks today. If you don't have blocks, you can use books that are this shape and size. You can also have any props that you need for your practice that you need to make your body feel good. Set yourself up for success, have them nearby. If you want a pillow or a bolster or a blanket or anything, just have it with you. We're gonna get really into the ankles and the calves today because that's what Aquarius rules in the body. Aquarius rules our shins, our calves, our ankles. So we're going to get into that today. And Aquarius, you know, we have a lot of things happening in Aquarius right now. So our new moon in Aquarius is on January 29th. We have Mercury moving into Aquarius, I believe the day after I'm filming this, on the 27th. Obviously the sun is in Aquarius. We just had Pluto move into Aquarius, and it's just, you know, it's really weird, but in a good way. Aquarius is very innovative, eccentric, authentic energy. In the tarot, Aquarius is ruled by the star card, which is that authenticity, that following your own North Star. It's hope, it's light at the end of the tunnel sort of vibes. You know, this Pluto in Aquarius energy is definitely, I think, what we need right now. It's a focus on revolution, rebellion, community, collective innovation. You know, we got that energy happening. That's probably one of the biggest, you know, we just had that transit happen. It's one of the kind of biggest energy shifts we've seen in a long time. We just had the node shift into Pisces and Virgo, you know, and we just had that also. You probably saw a lot of people on social media talking about it, that planetary alignment that we had in the sky of like 7 planets that all lined up. It would kind of remind me of like Hercules, like that kind of energy. So there was definitely an energy shift if you felt it. We're going to kind of work through that today. You know, Aquarius is that air energy, but Aquarius is also the water bearer. So even though Aquarius is an air sign, you know, Aquarius is depicted as a person holding that jug of water. It's very kind of alchemizing energy. This new moon in Aquarius, we know new moons are about setting intentions, about manifesting, about setting those goals for the moon cycle. This is our first new moon of 2025. So this is really the time, if you have something that you're passionate about, a passion project, something that's just really authentic to you and the things that you love. Maybe it's a little weird, maybe it's a little eccentric. This is the time to start it. This is the time to set manifestations and intentions around it, to start your goals. Be weird, let your freak flag fly, all that good stuff, all that Aquarius energy. And let me make sure I didn't forget anything. I put authenticity overall. It's also the same day as the Chinese New Year. This is the year of the snake. So again, there's just this energy shift, this new beginnings, new possibilities, new ideas, all that jazz. So we're going to get started. We're going to again get into the shins, the ankles, but we're going to kind of do a little bit of everything. Yeah, we are going to get started seated, kind of how I'm sitting on my legs, on my knees. I'm going to turn to the side so you can kind of see what I'm doing here. But this is how we're going to start. Now, if this maybe feels uncomfortable for you, look, I got very hard floors. This house is from the 1800s. The floors are hard. So maybe if you need to put a pillow or a blanket underneath your shins or your knees for that extra support, you can also double up on your yoga mat, because we're just going to get into those shins, the ankles, and the tops of the feet. So we're going to come to this seated position. You can have your palms in your lap. You can have palms facing down for grounding energy, palms facing up to receive whatever feels right and good for you. Maybe one palm up, one palm down, a little bit of as above, so below action here. Oh my goodness, excuse me. Now we're coming into settle into our space here. You can keep the eyes opened or closed, whatever feels good. And we're just bringing our awareness to our breath. You know, Aquarius is an air sign. This would be a great time to focus on pranayama or breath work. we're just bringing our awareness to our breath. So noticing as it goes in, and then as it goes out. Maybe noticing what happens in the body as you breathe. So on the inhale, maybe you feel the chest expand, the belly expand, the shoulders rise, taking up space. And then on the exhale, a gentle release, a gentle relaxation in the body. Just continuing to breathe here. Maybe deepening and lengthening these inhales and exhales. And as you breathe, just taking this moment for you in the present moment here on your mat. Maybe doing a little check-in, a moment of mindfulness. Just do a little inventory, see what's going on with the mind, the body, the soul. Ask yourself, how do I feel? And we're just getting curious. We're practicing non-judgment, non-attachment. If you notice any tensions, blockages, constraints, you can acknowledge them. You can be aware that they're there. But we can just let them float on by. And if you maybe feel yourself getting too attached, we're just going to take a big inhale in through the nose. And open mouth, exhale, release it. Now you can set your intention for this class, for this new moon here if you would like. I offer up the intention of I will be my authentic self. I'll be my truest self. I'll be my favorite self. You can steal that intention. You can set any intention that you like for this class, for this new moon, just for going forward. Maybe say it out loud or say it in your head. And we'll seal it with a breath. We'll take a big inhale in through the nose. And open mouth, exhale, let it go. Now we're going to start to invite in some movement here. We're going to get right into these feet, the shins, the ankles. So I'm gently going to lift myself up off my feet. So I'm kind of standing on my knees here. And I'm going to tuck my feet under. So I'm coming to the balls of my feet. I'm lifting my heels up. So my feet are kind of in this arched position. Now, if you're kind of already feeling it in this position, I want you to stay right here. If you want a little bit more, we're going to sit down on our heels. Now, this is a pretty intense posture. You know, if you're already feeling it, again, you can always just release here, but we're getting right on into it, friends. This is great if you have plantar fasciitis. This is a great stretch for the ankles, for the shins, for the feet. And we're just going to take a moment to breathe here. If at any time it becomes too much, too uncomfortable, just go ahead and release. Just focusing on the breath. Now when you're ready, we're just gently going to lift up. We're going to come back down to the tops of our feet and then sit back down. Now, again, you can stay right here if this feels like enough for you. You're like, I already feel it in the tops of my feet. I feel it in the ankles. I feel it in the shins. You can hang out here. If you want a little bit more, we're going to lean back onto our hands. Now, you're going to feel that in the quads. You're going to feel that in the shins and the tops of the feet. You can kind of lean your head back if that feels good. Again, this is just an option. And the last option that I'm going to give you here is to lift up the knees. You don't have to lift them up very high to feel that stretch in the tops of the ankles. I'm just breathing here. And nice big inhale here. Exhale, you can go ahead and release. You can lift up off those hands, and we'll slowly come to our hands and our knees into our tabletop position. You can kind of shake the feet out if you need to, maybe roll out the ankles a little bit. And then we're coming to our tabletop position. Our shoulder, elbow, wrist are stacked. Our hips are stacked over our knees again. If you need that extra support under your knees, you can put a pillow or a blanket there. And we're going to get right into our cat-cow. We're just going to warm up our spine a little bit. So we're going to inhale, lift the chin, open up the heart, arching the back, maybe sticking the booty out. Exhale to round, tucking chin to chest, doming out the shoulders, tucking the pelvis. Inhale to open up. And exhale to round. Now you can do what feels good here, what feels good in the body. If you want to take it fast or take it slow, just do 5 to 7 rounds of these on your own breath, linking your breath to your movement. Now you can rock from side to side. You could take it into some full body circles. Just ask your body what it needs and then go there. You can finish up this last round, gently coming back to a neutral spine. We're going to continue to get into the calves here. So I'm going to bring my left knee kind of to center, and then I'm going to extend my right leg straight back. And I'm coming to the ball of that right foot. My heel is lifted. Now, the more you press back against your heel, the more you're going to feel the back of that calf open up. Now, you can stay here in a static stretch, or if you'd like, you can kind of rock forward and back, make it more of a dynamic movement. Just whatever feels good. Again, focusing on your breath here. Now, if you're moving, you can come back to stillness, and then we will switch out the legs. So I'm bringing my right knee to center. I'm extending my left leg straight back, lifting up the heel, arching the foot. And then again, the more you press back into that heel, the more you're going to feel it. And maybe you want to rock forward and back. And gently coming to stillness. If you're moving, you can go ahead and release back into your tabletop. Now we're going to take this to a downward facing dog. Now if you know you kind of have sensitive wrists, a great variation for downward dog is placing blocks underneath your hands that take some of the pressure off of the wrist, just an option. But you're going to press your palms into the mat. We're going to tuck the toes. And we're going to inhale, lift those hips up and back to the wall behind us, finding our downward facing dog. Now, it's okay if your heels don't touch the mat. We're just encouraging them down. We're pressing those palms into the mat, and we're pressing our chest through our shoulders towards the tops of our thighs. Now, you can find your breath here in this downward facing dog. And then we're going to get into the calves and the ankles a little bit more. So on the inhale, I want you to really come up onto the toes. And then on the exhale, I want you to press those heels down. Inhale, lift up onto the toes. Exhale, press the heels down. One more, inhale, lift up onto the toes. And exhale, press the heels down. Now on the next inhale, we're going to gaze up to the tops of our mat. And then the exhale, we're going to travel to a forward fold. So you can take some baby steps forward. You can take a nice big old step forward. Either way, we're going to meet in our forward fold. And you can hang out here in our first forward fold of class and do what feels good. You can widen the feet to honor and make space for the belly and thighs. You can grab for opposite elbows. Maybe sway from side to side here. Again, just listening to your body, doing what feels good. And we're gently coming to stillness. I'm going to bring my hands to my blocks. And again, we're going to keep getting into the shins and the calves here. So I'm going to bring my left foot kind of to center. You can also have your hands on your hips here if you don't have your blocks. I'm going to bring my right foot a bit forward, and I'm going to lift my right toes off the mat. You can bend into both knees here if you'd like, but I'm flexing my right toes back towards my face, and I'm folding down. The deeper you fold, the more you're going to feel that in the back of that shin. You can also grab for the toes here if you really want to feel it in the foot. We're going to breathe here. Now I'm going to switch it out. I'm going to lower those right toes down, bring that right foot back, bring the left foot forward, and same thing. You can bend into the knees here, but I'm lifting my left toes up off the mat, maybe grabbing a hold of those toes if you'd like. Either way, I'm flexing my toes back towards my face and breathing here. And gently going to go ahead and release back to our forward folds. You can bring your hands to your shins or to the blocks, press into them. Inhale for a halfway lift, flat spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach and rise all the way up to standing. And exhale, hands to the heart center. Spend a moment here in your Tadasana mountain pose. You bring the focus back to your breath, maybe back to your intention that you set for practice today or for the new moon. I will be my most authentic self, my truest self, my favorite self. We'll seal that with a breath. Big inhale in through the nose. And open mouth, exhale, release. All right, my friends, we're going to get into our flow a little bit here. So I'm going to bring my hands to either side of me, standing in my Tadasana mountain pose. We're just going to warm up with some half sun salutes here. I'm going to inhale my arms up overhead, really reach up to the sky. And on the exhale, I'm going to fold forward over my legs. You can bring the hands to blocks or to the shins. Inhale for that halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach and rise to standing. And exhale, hands to the heart. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach and rise to standing. And exhale, hands to heart center. Last one just like that. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach and rise to standing. And exhale, hands to heart center. All right, my friends, we're going to continue to get into those shins, the calves, the ankles. We're going to take it through a little flow between some lunges, some pyramid postures. But we're going to start here in our Tadasana mountain pose. Again, have your blocks there for you if you got them. We're standing in our Tadasana. We're going to inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, go ahead and fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Now in this forward fold, I'm going to bring my hands to my blocks or to the mat, or you can also bring them to your hips. I'm going to bring my right foot to center, and I'm going to step my left foot back. So I'm finding my lunge here. My right knee is over the ankle, doesn't go past it. I'm on the ball of my back foot. Heel is lifted. My hands are on either side of my right foot. Now you can drop the back knee here if that feels good, or you can stay lifted. My chin and chest stay lifted, and I'm gonna breathe here. Now from here, we're gonna find a pyramid pose. So I'm gonna inhale here. Exhale, I'm gonna bring my back foot in a little bit closer so my back foot can come flat. Both my toes are pointed to the front of the mat, and I'm here in my pyramid posture. My goal here is to keep the legs as straight as I can. Of course, you can keep a micro bend in the knees. But we're here in our pyramid pose. Again, the hands are on either side of that right foot. You can also bring the hands to the shin if you'd like, or again on the hips. And we're breathing here, chin and chest are lifted. Now I'm going to take an inhale here. On the exhale, I'm going to bring both hands to the inside of the right foot, and I'm going to turn all the way to face the long edge of my mat. Now here I'm going to widen my feet a little bit so I can come to a wide-legged forward fold. And this is where we're going to hang out for a second. So you can keep your hands on your blocks if you'd like, or you can lower the hands to the mat. You can do what feels good here in this fold. If you want to bend into the knees, if you want to shake the booty out, you can. Just doing what feels good here in our wide-legged forward fold. Now you can come to center if you're not there already. I'm going to inhale here. Exhale, I'm going to walk my hands over to my right foot. So I'm getting a little bit of a side bend here. Again, we're trying to keep the legs as straight as they can go, but you can always keep a micro bend to those knees. And breathing here. Now I'm going to inhale here, exhale, walk my hands back through center and over to the left foot, same thing. I'm reaching now for my left foot. Little side stretch. Inhaling here, exhale, returning to center. Shake it out if it feels good. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab my blocks again if you got them. I'm going to inhale here and exhale. I'm going to walk now to face the back of my mat. So we're going to do the same thing that we did on the other side, but now to the left. So I'm going to shift into a pyramid pose. So now both my toes are facing the back of the mat. Again, my legs are as straight as I can get them. My hands are now on either side of my left foot. And I'm in my pyramid pose facing the back of the mat. Chin and chest stay lifted. And I'm breathing here. Now I'm going to take an inhale here. Exhale, I'm going to step this back foot into my lunge. So I'm getting a little deeper here. I'm bending into the front knee. That left knee doesn't go past the ankle. I'm now on the ball of the back foot. My hands are still on either side of my left foot. Chin and chest stay lifted. And now I'm breathing here in my lunge. Now I'm going to inhale here. Exhale, I'm going to step this back foot forward into a forward fold. And I'm going to release here. You can shake it out. You can really release in this forward fold. Do what feels good. And gently coming to stillness, I'm going to bring my hands to the blocks, which are my shins. Inhale for that halfway lift, flat spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach and rise to standing. And exhale, hands to the heart center. Take a moment. Bring it back to your intention. Bring it back to your breath. We'll take a collective breath here. Big inhale in through the nose, filling up chest, filling up belly, taking up space. And open mouth, exhale, let it go. All right, my lovelies, I'm gonna come to face the long edge of my mat again, setting up again for a wide-legged fold here. So my legs are coming wide. I'm gonna inhale, my arms up, and exhale, folding forward over the legs, doing what feels good in your wide-legged forward fold. Maybe bending into one knee and then the other. Maybe shaking it out. Now from here, we're gonna take it down to our mat, to a seat on our mat. So I like to press my palms into the mat. You can also put your hands on your blocks and then just gently bending into one knee, bending into the other, coming down to a seat. I'm gonna get my blocks out of the way and come all the way down to sit on my butt. I'm gonna extend my legs out in front of me. Maybe take a moment to scooch some goodness out from underneath you so you can feel those sit bones on the mat. All right, we're gonna get into some forward folds here. Now you can keep the feet wide, so I wanna make space for the belly and thighs here. We're going to experiment a little with pointed and flexed feet, and you're gonna feel how that kind of changes where you're feeling the stretch here in this forward fold. So we're gonna start with pointed toes. So I'm gonna point my toes here. I'm pointing them like as hard as I can point them. I'm gonna inhale my arms up, and exhale, I'm gonna fold forward. Now notice where you feel this with the toes pointed. I definitely feel this in the tops of my feet. I'm also just getting like a foot cramp. I can feel this in the tops of my ankles. I can feel this in my shins. And I'm breathing here. I'm going to inhale, come on up, and now I'm going to flex my feet backwards. So I'm really flexing the toes back towards my face. You could also use a strap here, wrap it around your feet. You can also, if you can reach the feet, you can pull back on the toes. But same thing here, I'm flexing my toes back towards my face. And you can kind of already feel, I definitely feel my like whole calves and shins engage. I'm going to inhale here, and again, exhale. I'm folding forward, and maybe if you can reach the toes, we're grabbing a hold of the toes. You can also let your hands kind of rest on your shins. And I'm pulling those toes back. And again, notice how different that feels. And I'm gently gonna inhale, come on up. And exhale, release. Now you can just kind of let your feet relax here, not pointed or flexed, just kind of chilling. And same thing, we're going to do a forward fold. So I'm going to inhale my arms up and exhale, just fold gently over the legs. Now, if there was a certain variation that you really liked, maybe you're like, you know what, pointing my toes felt really good, you can do that. You could also make this pose work for you if you want to really get into the low back. Maybe you kind of widen the feet a little more, bend into the knees and just really fold forward. Or if you want to really get into the legs, keeping the legs straight and then folding forward. Make each pose work for you and your body, my friends. We're going to gently inhale, come on up. Exhale here, we're going to take it back down to our mats. So gently you can lower yourself down onto your mat. Take your time, moving with intention. Coming on down, we'll just do a few twists to release here and then find our Savasana. So I'm going to bring my arms out to a T position. I'm going to draw my knees into the chest. I'm going to inhale here and exhale. Just drop those knees over to the right. Now you can gaze over the left shoulder if that feels good. Just breathing into this twist. And again, maybe start to bring your focus back to your breath, bring your focus back to your intention. What does being your truest, most authentic self look like? Maybe there's some really weird idea that you've had for a business or just a passion project, or you want to start maybe a collective or a community. This would be a great time to do that. You can inhale, gently come back to center, and then exhale, we'll take the twist to the other side. So dropping the knees over to the left now, maybe gazing over that right shoulder. And again, just breathing into this twist. If there's any goals that you set for the new year that you want to get started on, it's always great to do that under a new moon. Any manifestation spell work. On the next inhale, you can gently return to center, and exhale, you can release. If there's any final pose that you feel like you need for your practice, you can go there, anything that feels good for you and your body. If you're ready to find your Savasana, you can do that as well. I personally like to bend my knees and then knock my knees kind of into each other. If you have big old booty and maybe that gap between the low back and the mat, this helps kind of bring that low back to the mat so you don't have that gap there. You can bring your hands to either side of you, palms facing up or down, whatever feels good. And you can keep the eyes open or closed. You're just bringing your awareness back to your breath, back to your intention. And this is where I will leave you, my friends. I encourage you to spend 5 to 10 breaths here in this Savasana, just taking a moment for yourself. I hope you have a wonderful new moon. Again, if you'd like a little more information on the energy of this new moon, I have a video here for that. If you like witchcraft and wellness, spooky stuff, hit that subscribe button. And I will see you all next time.